Hello. Yes, good morning everybody. Today is 7th of March 2019 and I'm going to take you through today's market oil. So we'll look at first the first pairs which you looked at yesterday, and then we'll also proceed to the last three, which should be Brent oil, SP500 and also gold. So let's move straight to the main chart. We want to check from Euro USD. So I already have this on my screen already. I have the screenshot which you created previously. They're still valid. I had my line here, a very good resistance. As you can see, so far after breaking below, the price has not been able to successfully break above it again. So from what we mentioned yesterday, as long as the price remains below 1.1445, we actually expect a sell. But then on the lower side, there's also a level here which price has to clearly go below. There's a level here. We have a support at this point, a level where price went above. So as long as the price remains, this is some range, as long as the price does not clearly either break above or below it, we expect it to remain in between. Expect some movements first before you see a clear move out of this range. This is what you expect. The price should remain before either it breaks below, then retrace back to the same point before we see it move even lower, or somehow the price may also break above. Something like this is likely. Break above, then retrace back to the same slot so that we can pick a buy to the upper side. These are the things we expect. Either let price continue to consolidate in between this zone. We'll buy and sell. Buy if you buy, sell at this point. Sorry, you should wait and buy on the lower end. Sell. If you buy there, you should wait and sell. But should price break below the lower, and then we expect it to proceed even lower up to 1.04884. So I want to look at the same chart, maybe from a lesser time frame. I want to look at the same chart from another time frame, maybe daily or for us to see if there are any good trades. Euro USD should be here. And just a second, show all. Here should be somewhere here. So I want to look at this chart also from a lesser time frame, maybe from the daily. Let's start from the daily to see if there are any good setups. So on the daily, there's a level here which I drew previously, and I still expect the same level somehow to hold market. There's a support here. This was a good support from some point in the past. We had a support 9th of November, around 9th of November 2018. The same place was used earlier this year, which was 11th of February. And the same place could be used as a good support even now. So basically, we want price to let it retrace back down up to that point before it moves higher. So if you are trading that pair at the moment, you should be waiting for a good trade. Wait for price to try retracing up to that support, up to this support. Then you should be able to pick a buy from that point to the upper side. So we'll move straight to the next. Let's go to GBP USD. I will see if there are any good trades here. From the indicator we're having on this chart so far, we mentioned and said that the green bars you're seeing here, these are called columns of MACD. As long as they remain below 0.00, we expect price to proceed to the lower side. Just the same way from this point here, from this point up to this point, we had them being below 0.00. From this point to this point, this was a downtrend. As you can see, price was also moving to the lower side. Then when it went above, that is from this point, price also continued up. We saw this move to the upper side. Then it broke below, and there was another move to the lower side. So as we speak now, we are seeing that the last week's candle, which was this one, is somehow showing signs of opening above 0.00, of closing above 0.00. Assuming next week on Monday you find that the column work, the current column which we are now seeing is actually above 0.00, then it means that we expect price to move even higher. So what we want to happen now, whatever we want to happen is for price, maybe it should continue up. Let it break clearly above 1.3205, then retrace back to the same point before it moves even higher, something like this. Let price continue up, let it proceed up like that before we see a retracement. So far on this pair, we still want price to go up and retrace back to the same point before we can pick a buy from the same slot up to the very top, up to 1.4246. So we'll move straight to the next side. Let's go to the next chart, and that should be USD JPY here. And on this one, I'm going to add from the indicator you're seeing, the X, you can see that there are numbers here. These are levels, and those levels, we use them with the main line. So I'm going to add a level. Sorry, I hope my screen just got frozen, but it should be back up now. So how this works is this: we have the complete one, which stands for there's a trend, then we have the green dotted one, which stands for an uptrend, then the red dotted one, which stands for a downtrend. So far the complete line is below 25, which means that there is no active trend, but we want it to go above 25 so that you can confirm that there's a trend. And if at that time while it's closing above, the green one, the green dotted one, is above the red one, then we've confirmed that the trend is now upwards. So as it is at the moment, we want price to let it clearly ascend above, let it continue up the way it has been doing, let it retrace back to give us a clear buy with low risk. We'll pick a buy from that point, expecting it to go up to 114.05. So far from onset, we actually took a buy some few weeks ago. We took a buy from that point. We are waiting to take another buy from this point, and we'll take the last buy from this point up to the top. So far the buys we are taking is actually some range on the monthly chart. If you check the monthly chart as we speak, let me load that afresh. The monthly chart, you check this point, that there's a range where the price actually is remaining within. We have this one there, we also have that one. So this is a possible range that as long as the price does not close above this one or does not go below the lower one, then we are actually expecting some reversals either from this point or from the upper side. So far this is another level here, which is also significant, and on the lower side we have another level here. So far on this chart we have like 1, 2, 3, we have 4 levels. The first one should be 101.185, 108.655, 113.652, then we have 117.000. So these are the levels to trade from. If you took a buy, as we mentioned some few weeks ago, from that point, just expect price to go up to that point. Then we expect it possibly to break above before it retraces back somehow, something like this. We want it to either break above, retrace back before we can pick a trade, expecting it to go up to the top. So far on this chart, we actually took a buy. We took a buy when this candle was opening. We took a buy at this point. Price has been up so far. We expect it to proceed up to this level. We are going to take profits while the price is here. Expect it to break above, then we'll pick the second trade once it's completely above. So we'll move straight to the next chart, and that should be Brent oil. We move to Brent oil is here. So on this chart, you can remember I mentioned some few weeks ago that we expected price based on what was happening here. I mentioned and said that we expect that this downtrend, the one which is dominating from this point up to this one, was actually possibly coming to an end. So the reason I say that was this, that every time the price moved down, there was a slight retracement. continued down, a slight retracement, continued down, a slight retracement, continued down, a slight retracement, it continued down, a slight retracement, it continued down. Then for the first time we actually saw this as a big retracement, as a major one. Compare this to the other retracement. This is a bit bigger compared to these ones. These are 3 retracements. Let me put them. This is a retracement, then this is a retracement, this is also a retracement, though small, this is also a retracement, then this is also a retracement. Even the ones you see, all these green color, the ones you're seeing in between, these are all retracements. But compare these ones to the one we just saw here. This was a bigger one. Then there was also another bigger one which has now taken price above the previous biggest retracement. We are now above this zone. So what this means is that the trend which was dominating while price was going down is actually coming to an end, and that we are possibly heading to the upper side. So as it is at the moment, whatever you are looking at now, we basically want price to retrace perfectly up to 62.82 so that you can pick a buy from that point, expecting it proceed up to either this point, or the upper one. So far, assuming you want to trade this pair cautiously, you need to have a pending buy limit at this point, then have your stop loss below this retracement, up a retracement, up a retracement, have your stop loss, the first take profit, the next one, and then the last one should be at the very top. So this move we are seeing on the daily is actually supported by the monthly chart. So we check monthly Brent oil from the monthly point of view. Let's see what we have. Just a second, I think I have it here. I'll load the fresh instead. Loaded. We have our monthly chart already. So what I mentioned yesterday was that there's a level here. There's a very good trend line which price has not been able to close above for a long time. This was since 2007. It was used as a resistance, 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 another resistance, and we basically want price to come back to the same point before it head straight to the lower side. So you want to trade this commodity correctly, you need to wait for a sell from this point. Selling is only ideal when the price is at this point. So the same point, this is supposed to be a horizontal resistance, a resistance, and a diagonal resistance. So far we are waiting to sell both when price is here and also when it's along this trend line. So we'll move to the next symbol, that should be SP500. And on SP500, if you can remember yesterday, we actually mentioned that there was a buy which was coming up, but from whatever is happening now, we are actually heading down. We said that we want price to break above, retrace slightly before it moves upwards. So far that did not happen. Instead, the price is heading down, and remember we took a buy from this point, which we went up, like we sold, we bought at this point, then took a sell from this point. This was like we sold the position which we had bought when price was going up. So far from what is happening, something like this is like the price is likely to head down, then possibly bounce from this point back up before we can see a retracement, which should give us another good place to buy to the upper side. The main reason I'm saying this is likely is because it's likely not to go below this is because previously the same place we actually took a buy from, we only buy where previously we could have bought from. So far the price is moving down, and we want it to come back up to this level so that we can pick a buy from that point, and that buy we're going to take profits here, 2814.2. So take a buy from this point, expect price to move up to this point, then take your profits from that point, then wait for price to proceed up, retrace down before you pick a second trade, expecting it to go even higher, 2934.2. So we are going to move straight. Let's move to the next side. That should be the next and the last start, and that should be gold. Gold is still proceeding downwards, and I want to start by first marking the levels where we expect price to react from. The first levels are this one. We have the lower one, this one. This is just a trend line, a very good support from the past. we have a support there. We also have a support at this point, and we want the same trend line to be a support in the future. When should price come from that point up to the lower end, then that's the best place to buy from. So far from the past, this we have a support. We also have another support at this point. Then we also expect the same place to be a support in the future. So we didn't take that sell, but we are possibly waiting for price to bounce from that point so that we can buy it back to the top. From the monthly point of view, this is also a very good place to trade from. It's another very good place you want to look for a buy from, or if price breaks below it, then you want to look for a sell from the same point. So let's load another chart. I want to look at the same chart, maybe from a lesser time frame, from daily, or maybe daily or 4-hour chart. On the 4-hour chart, this is what we expect. There's a trend. From this indicator, we have a trend, and that trend is downwards. Then I mentioned this, there's a level here which price needed to retrace up to. We wanted price to come back up to this level, but so far that is not happening. The price instead is heading down. So this level here still holds. We still expect price to come back up to it. We still want price, we still want price to try coming back up to that level before we can pick a trade to the lower side. This is what we expect. Let price come back up to that point, then we'll be able to pick a sell from that point, expecting it to go to the lower side. So thank you very much. So far we've looked at just all the pairs we ought to be looking at. We've looked at gold, where we want price to proceed and before we pick a buy. We've looked at Euro USD, where it's showing us there's a range from the weekly point of view. The chart we just looked at, there's actually a range where Euro is within. Now we want it to remain within that zone for some time. Then GBP USD, we want price to break above 1.3205 so that we can pick a buy upwards. Then USD/JPY, we want a retracement before we pick a buy up to the top. Then SP500, there's a retracement, but we're waiting to buy from 1.2738.8. Then Brent oil, we want a retracement. We actually have a pending buy limit at this point with a fast take profit, stop loss, then the next one at the top. So we have all the symbols. Thank you very much. See you again tomorrow at the same time.